Hello and welcome back to our weekly eShop Switch game sale roundup, where we help you cut through the noise and find the best bargains across the UK, EU and US eShops. I hope everyone is staying safe with the coronavirus outbreak. I for one have been going stir crazy working from home, and some downtime with the Switch is definitely helping. Let us know your pick of the week in the comments, as each week we give away a $10 eShop voucher to one person who shared their pick. Later on, we will announce last week's winner, but for now, let's jump in and take a look at these deals. Kicking things off with my pick of the week, it's Octopath Traveler. This new JRPG IP is a wonder to play, featuring 8 different characters with their own tales and unique playstyle that are woven together. This 2D turn-based title sports lovely HD sprite work and a 3D world to explore. Its deep strategic gameplay is the star of the show, and with 50% off, you will definitely get your money's worth, as you can easily sink well over 50 hours into this one. There's even a demo, so you can give it a try before committing to a purchase. This is the biggest sale we've seen yet on this one, and it's on sale in the UK, EU and US eShops, so everyone can enjoy it. Jordan, Juan, what are your picks this week?
What's up guys, Jordan here with my pick of the week. No faffing about, it's Final Fantasy VII, my favourite game of all time. 50% off now, £6.39 in the UK and $7.99 in euros and US dollars. Bargain! Now is the perfect time to experience this legendary game, especially considering the remake is very close on the horizon. Speaking of which, oh my god, I cannot wait. If I had the time, I would definitely do another run through of the original, and you should too. It's going to be fascinating to compare them. Alright guys, that's my pick of the week. Have a good one.
Thanks very much, James. I have hundreds of games, but one that my daughter and I often return to is Pikuniku, published by Devolver Digital. The campaign is a nice mix of puzzle and exploration, which takes place in a wonderful, colourful world. The best thing about this game is it's so nice and simple for an adult to play with a child, or just for any two people to play together. Solo is also fun, but for 89p I can highly recommend it at its price, an absolute bargain with 92% off in all regions. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you next week.
Fantastic picks there, folks. Square Enix are spoiling us this week, that's for sure. Final Fantasy IX has a chunky 50% off as well. 9 followed 7 and 8 by taking us back to a more traditional fantasy setting with classic classes and cutesy characters, including Vivi, one of my favourite Final Fantasy characters from the series. In many ways it put people off, but over the course of time people have come to appreciate this classic. The Switch port is solid and includes HD remastered cutscenes and some small quality of life settings, like the ability to turn random encounters off or breeze through battles in fast mode. If you skipped this one previously, you're missing out, and Tetramaster, the card collecting and battling minigame, is fantastic too. Phantom Doctrine is a strategic turn-based espionage thriller game. It plays out like XCOM set in the spy world. You manage your network of spies and send them on missions where stealth is often the best option. Set at the height of the Cold War, this is all CIA and KGB. In between missions, you manage the tedious tasks of a spy network, and it can become tedious indeed, with so many small things to do. It's a great concept, but its execution leads to something less fluid than you might expect. If you're a fan of tactics and dictating from the shadows, this one might be for you. In the Swindle, the ultimate heist is going down in 100 days. Over the next 99 days, you need to burgle your way to better items, more cash, and everything you will need to succeed, assuming that you make it. This stealth sim has you sneaking around its steampunk world and uses an interesting mix of leveling up and permanent enhancements to keep things fresh. Beware though, it is difficult. You can tackle each level in various ways, but you'll definitely fail along the way. Final Fantasy VIII has a healthy 40% off. This one, like the others in this series, needs no introduction. Whilst not as renowned as 7, this is many people's favourite in this series, and for good reason. Whilst an equal number of people couldn't get to grips with it, yes, this one is divisive. The story this time around is quirky, lots of witches and time twisting, but its visuals at the time were superb. Not so much now. The quality of life features available in the other remakes are here, including the ability to skip through the extraordinarily long summon sequences. Collection of Mana brings the first 3 titles from the Game Boy and SNES to the Nintendo Switch. The first title, confusingly, was released as Seiken Densetsu in Japan, Final Fantasy Adventure in the US, and Mystic Quest in Europe. There are a raft of screen options in this simple yet wonderful adventure, which eases you into the series. Next up is Secret of Mana, one of the finest RPGs ever made, and its follow-up Trials of Mana, which was just as good but criminally never got released in the West. In fact, this is the first time it's landed on these shores in all of its glory. This collection is fantastic, and there is even co-op play in the second and third titles. There is a tantalising remake coming down the line on the Switch, so it's a great time to go back and play these classics with a healthy 50% discount. Super Darrell Deluxe is a side-scrolling beat-em-up wrapped in a bonkers story and bags of personality. The game is surreal in a hilarious sort of way and has a wonderful art style. Importantly though, this isn't style over substance. The gameplay is superb and it takes skill to succeed. It's a very cool game and one that is very fun to play. Here we have a wilderness survival game where you control a girl and her dog down a procedurally generated river. Of course, evading dangerous wildlife is key, along with finding resources to survive and also remedying inflictions. There is a crafting system and the support you get from your dog who can sniff out danger is charming. We love the visuals here and the cool soundtrack, and with 70% off now, this is definitely the time to try it out. Panpan is a beautiful looking puzzle game reminiscent of Monument Valley. Panpan is about exploration and paying attention to your surroundings. The game's map is a decent size, giving you plenty to explore. The soundtrack is a particular highlight. Simon Viklund, the sound designer and composer, treats us to a range of chilled and delicate sound effects from rocks breaking, soft footsteps and the use of alien chatter. It seemed to flow nicely in this desolate setting. This is a short 3-hour lovely puzzle game worth picking up at an incredible price point now. Night in the Woods is another story-driven exploration game. It pulls on the heartstrings and will stay with you after the credits roll. Along the way, there are a few laughs as well. It's not all serious, but whilst there are some nice gameplay elements, this is about the interwoven stories. One surreal and the other very much a coming-of-age tale. This is not one to be missed if you enjoy a good story. Check out our review by clicking on the card at the top right hand side to find out more. The First Tree is a third-person exploration game centered around two parallel stories. A fox trying to find her missing family and a son reconnecting with his estranged father in Alaska. Players take control of the fox on a poignant and beautiful journey that crescendos at the source of life and perhaps results in an understanding of death. Along the way, players can uncover artifacts and stories from the son's life as he becomes intertwined in the fox's journey towards the first tree. This is a short, story-driven adventure with some light platforming and puzzle elements along with wonderful graphics and audio. It will take you only about 2 hours to complete, but it's a wonderfully emotional ride. Reduced from $20 all the way down to just $2, Hard West is worth buying purely on price. But on top of that, this is actually a very good turn-based tactical game which we really enjoyed here at SwitchWatch. It was a tad expensive at the time, but if you love Western games with a twist, then check this out. Here we have Western legends, demons, arcane rituals and even satanic cults, but the combat and story is enough to get you invested into the game and its lore. $2, this is a fantastic bargain. From the creators of Slain Back from Hell, this is Steel Mantis having another go, but this time taking everything they learned from their first game and implementing lots of improvements into this awesome 2D action game, which is balls hard but pure awesome with its tight platforming and gunning. With that awesome heavy rock soundtrack and violent, gory, pixelated, wonderful visuals, you cannot go wrong. Get this if you want an epic time, and don't forget you can purchase games from different regions. Check out our written guide on how to do that over at switchwatch.co.uk. The link is in the description below. Conduct Together is an addictive game of explosive railway action that will challenge your inner conductor. You can conduct everything yourself or hand a Joy-Con to a friend for a hectic teamwork of commanding trains, switching tracks and avoiding collisions in increasingly challenging action puzzles. The game is tough and after a few easy levels it becomes a nice challenge to get stuck into. The Switch version builds on the mobile game, but when it came out at $17.99 it was very overpriced. Now, at the paltry sum of 1 cent, it's a lot of game that is virtually free. Civilization VI from Sid Meier is a glorious journey through the age of man from the Stone Age up until the spacefaring future. It's right at home on the Switch, either docked or on the move. There's no better time sink on a sim game, and Civilization is right up there, earning a rave review from Juan which you could check out by clicking on the card at the top right hand side. At 50% off, this epic is a steal and an easy recommendation for this week's bargains. Wolverblade is a side-scrolling beat-em-up set in 120 AD. The Romans have seized control of South Britannia, and you have to prevent them from getting closer. You have the ability to pick from 3 unique characters, each warrior having different stats such as power, agility and defense. The story is based on true stories and tales of the people at the time, which is a nice touch. The game takes place across 8 levels, each complete with a boss battle at the end. Yes, this follows the tried and tested beat-em-up formula. The detailed story based on real lore and the fact that the game is voice acted, combined with cool graphics and great gameplay, make this a top choice in its category, all for under $5. I'm a big fan of the Jackbox party games, but they are not all created equal. Some are a blast and others are filler. Drawful 2 is definitely in the blast category. It's very simple. Each player connects to your TV using their mobile. Given a prompt, you draw a silly picture and the others have to guess from a number of options what it is that you've drawn. Building on the original hit, Drawful 2 takes parties to the next level by allowing players to make their own crazy prompts compared to the first. This has twice as many prompts, includes bonus score streaks, and elevates the fun experience further, all at just 9 cents. This is the perfect time filler at the moment and a good way to laugh with your family. Jordan reviewed Runner 3 and was pleasantly surprised by this rhythm platformer. Runner 3 represents a welcome return for Command & Video in his best form. Runner 2 was one of the best rhythm games on the Wii U, and although there is much stiffer competition on the Switch, choice provisions have done it again, providing a fun, personality-filled, musical running experience. Runner 3 is a no-brainer for rhythm game fans. It's a pity there are only 3 worlds and the extreme difficulty will not be for everyone, but its challenge leads to a great feeling when you do succeed. With 90% off, it's worth a revisit and is a comfortable recommendation for us to make. And there you have a bunch of bargains worth picking up. Let us know your pick this week down below, and next Sunday we will give away a $10 eShop voucher. Speaking of which, last week's winner is Lawbroker. Congratulations, Lawbroker. Please email us and we will get you that voucher. You can read a lovely write-up of this list over at switchwatch.co.uk, as well as finding some awesome articles including a brilliant guide on how to set up an eShop account in different regions in order to take advantage of deals outside of your local store. That's it from me today, but if you enjoyed this, please tune back in next Sunday for more bargains. Check out our review of Deep Sky Derelicts, a cool dungeon crawler set in space, and Juan's review of Saints Row 4 is due to drop later on. Look out for Jordan's physical release roundup tomorrow. That is always a blast. If you enjoy our content, well, thank you for watching, and please do consider subscribing. Once again, a massive thank you to everyone who supports us. Have a great week. Take care.